Hello, Lab Rats. Welcome to Lab Rat Academy again. I am so excited that you're willing to come and do a squid dissection with me. That is so brave of you. I'm excited to have you guys do this with me because this is kind of like a step above what you have been doing in our introduction to biology labs. First, we did a owl pellet exploration, then we did a flower dissection, and then we did a yummy fruit dissection. But now to dissect a fresh squid, the smell is going to be a little bit different. The texture is going to be a little bit different. The tools that we use to dissect are going to be a little bit different too. So we're going to follow our lesson plan and we're going to see how we can dive into looking at the anatomy of a squid. Let's take a look at our lesson plan. All right, so I have on the screen up there another cartoon of a squid. So I want you to take a look at that squid and tell me what you think about that squid. Do you think that that squid is a good representation of what you know makes up a squid? Do you think that it has all of the structures that you see on that cartoon right there? First of all, it has that little cap. It almost looks like a grandma's knitted cap that they made from with a little top like that. Do you think that a squid has that? What about those two eyes in front of his head? The worm definitely didn't have any eyes, but do you think a squid has two big eyes in the front of his head? And do you think that he has that big mustache under his eyes like this? Is it a mustache? Or is it something else that it might have, that it uses it for not a mustache, but for other functions that it does? And what about those feet? Do you think it walks around on 2 feet? Those are great questions. And we're going to take a look at the squid and see what we can find. All right, so first of all, let's take a look at the bone structure. So looking at that lesson there, you see a picture. Do you think that a squid has bones? You may have felt the bag already that was in your kit of supplies, and you're like, wow, I don't know. It doesn't really feel like it has any bones in that right there. So you might want to touch that to see if it does. And it doesn't really feel like it has bones. It doesn't. It actually has a long pin. That's what it's called. The pin along its back to give it a little bit of structure, to keep it long instead of like a jellyfish. But it doesn't have any bones like us. So it's an invertebrate. And also I want to find out from you guys, do you know where a squid lives? Does it live in the mountains? No, not really. You can see in that picture, it looks like he's floating in outer space. You may have seen that in the movies, but really they live in the ocean. Yes, that's right, in salt water. And in terms of what they like to eat, what is their choice of food? Wonder if you guys know. It is actually meat. They like to eat meat. So they're carnivores. They might eat other fish, small mollusks, things that have shells. They can even eat other squid. So I guess you can call it a carnivore if you want, and or a cannibal, because it also eats other squid. And for its locomotion, how does it get around? In the picture we saw in the cartoon at the beginning, it actually looked like it had feet for walking around, but it does not. You can see in this picture that it doesn't have feet. Instead, it has the ability to propel itself, almost like a water balloon. It takes in water and then squishes it out of its kind of like a balloon type body at this tiny little hole. And so it has jet propulsion. And in terms of size, you wonder how big does it get? These ones that I gave you for dissecting today are not very big, so they don't make too much mess, but they can get up to be really big, like 100 feet, as big as a school bus. That is big, and I prefer not to meet one of those face to face. And since it does have a lot of meat on its body, I'm wondering, does it have any predators? And would anything want to eat a squid? Do you eat squid? I do. It's called, what do we call squid that's been cooked? Any ideas? It's called calamari. Yes, people eat squid, but also other things like sharks and other fish and other squid would want to eat squid. That's right. And since it does have things that want to eat it, you probably want to make sure that you have ways to defend yourself if things want to eat you and chase after you.